What else are we missing to set the scene for Easter? I think Frankie Flowers has the answer to that. April showers won't stop Easter flowers. Frankie, you've got a gorgeous display here. What would you say is your go-to Easter floral?
That's like saying, well, who is your favorite child?
Right. Well, who's your favorite child?
They're both my favorite child.
Of course they are.
It's usually colors that really draw me.
Yes.
So when it comes to Easter, there's so many different varieties of plants that are out there outside of the typical Easter lily, and that's why I didn't even bring it here.
Oh, right.
But a lot of the times you want to draw yourself towards those pastel colors, and pastel colors are really on point this year as well. So you're looking at pinks and yellows and just, you know, happiness. I would describe it as happiness. And probably one of the plants that have gained so much popularity over the last several years are hydrangeas.
Hydrangeas should always be in style because I love a hydrangea. I've told you this a billion times, but for me, I always think of these later in the season, like
outdoor
August.
in the gardens, outdoor in the gardens. They're blooming in our gardens outside in later summer months. So these guys here, how they're blooming at this time of the year is they're actually brought in by a greenhouse grower. They're put into a refrigerator, cooled down, make them to think that they're in a dormancy period, then put out into heat. The ones that are pink versus blue, there's some acidity that's changed in the soil. So the more acidic the soil, the blue that comes out that's here. So they trigger them for this time of year. They've been breeding shorter varieties as well. So if you look, these are a little bit nicer for a tabletop variety. As well, a lot of the times people have a question, like after I'm done enjoying these indoors, can I put them outside?
Can you?
And depending upon where you're watching us from, it depends on the hardiness zone of the plants that they've used. So some areas that are more zone 5 to zone 6, those areas they could overwinter quite easily.
Can you give me an example of what might be a zone 5, zone 6? Are we talking West Coast?
No, even here. In Ontario,
like
where we broadcast out of, Leamington to the Windsor area, even some portions of Toronto. But sometimes you'll find that these guys will come back with a lot of foliage. They're macrophilias, so they bloom on old wood. So the biggest trick for these guys is if you're trying to get them to rebloom, kind of leave them alone. Don't really prune them out there.
That's the best advice I ever want to hear. Leave them alone. So it's like if you're a lazy gardener, that's beautiful advice.
And inside your home, they're heavy water users. So just be very careful with that. So a lot of the times, these guys over here, people would say, well, Frank, that's not an Easter cactus, that's a Christmas cactus. But these have been gaining popularity.
They're pretty.
And the reason being is they have a long bloom period. This plant here can last over 50 years inside the home.
Whoa.
They're really tricked into blooming at Easter and or Christmas. They bloom based upon the shortness of days. And as we're getting out of the real dark days of winter, that's what Easter is. But this is, if you're looking for an easy to care for plant that you want to give as a gift that can go on for generations, and these guys you can take cuttings from. So easy whatsoever. So easy.
That's beautiful. Okay, you've got some other ones that you love for Easter.
Any lily that's out there. These lilies are fantastic. And this is a pixie lily, which gives you the blooms. These guys here, the pink blooms that is, these guys very easily come back. They're an Asiatic lily, so they can come back. You can enjoy it out indoors, plant it outside. A little word of warning, though. If you have any curious pets, they're very toxic.
Oh, they are?
All lilies. Every part of all lily can be very harmful to pets. If you have a curious pet that likes to eat plants, don't put this plant in your house.
Got it.
Okay. Chrysanthemums.
You've been warned.
Chrysanthemums. These guys here are so much fun.
They're lovely.
They're just bloom. They're nice little colors. You can actually take some of these flowers and you can add them to cakes, or if you want to add them to even to a salad.
Are they edibles?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can eat them, no problem whatsoever.
And they're pretty.
They're a plant that doesn't really come back, so they're like a bottle of wine. You enjoy it, and then it goes to the big compost pile in the sky.
I like how you explain it to me, because now I get it.
Yeah, bottle of wine.
It's like wine. Oh, it's done. It's done.
Bottle of wine's always good.
Right?
These guys here are not what you normally see, but they're bright little colors. They're called Primula or Primrose. This is a beautiful plant that can be enjoyed.
Is there any bloom? Oh, there is.
Yeah, this is a beautiful plant that can be enjoyed indoors. Indoors, put it in a bright room, but this can be planted outdoors in your garden in a shaded space.
Oh, nice.
So these guys bloom spring blooming, shaded spaces, easy to come back. So there's a lot of plants that you can enjoy for Easter inside your home that you can then transition outside. The number one thing with all the plants is always know what you're putting in your home and always be careful about kids and pets around plants that can be bad.
Absolutely. What I love about all of these is that, as you mentioned, they would be really good as centerpieces. And I like doing a plant versus flowers because they last longer. You know, some of them you can even plant outdoors. I want to know, though, are you going to tell us about where you got these gorgeous little pots? Are they all from your greenhouse?
They're all from my family greenhouse, which is a garden gallery.
Frankie. They're perfect for Easter.
Perfect for Easter, but this is a huge color trend for this year.
It is.
If you see, look.
We have a bit of it in the studio. It's like it's everywhere, and I love it because it's actually flattering on everyone.
It is.
Right? It's a beautiful, subtle pink. Would you ever put all of these together, or do any of these work better together if you're making a bigger...
Plants will always do better in groupings.
Okay.
So they'll do well. They
They're
all
like
play.
us.
I always call these guys here all play in the sandbox nicely with each other.
Okay.
You can easily put a combination of these together in a planter, just like that. There you go. You can have a white planter with that color combination that's right there.
That's beautiful.
So these can easily be put together in a planter, no problem. Sometimes what you can do in that planter is, you know, you can accessorize and you can have a little bit of fun. You can,
oh, that's cute.
you know, you just all of a sudden look, just a nice little addition like that. And the kids are going to love that too. Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Nice gift too. I love these ideas. Okay.